Welcome to Xbox Beastfire. You're here with my buddies Z. We got D, we got Dealer, and we got All Day, and I'm Colt Eastwood. We're going to talk about just about everything before E3 is in our faces in just a couple more weeks.
Colt, would you say it's fair to say that we're going to talk about some games today, Colt?
Yeah, let's talk about consoles. Let's talk about games, and let's put some rumors to rest, huh?
Well, I guess before the room fills up.
Z just figured out where he's at.
No, before the room fills up, why it's filling up. What's going on with you guys? What you got going on? Anything new?
Oh, it's what's your name? Where can I find you? Type thing.
Oh, whatever. What you got going on? You know.
Well, I haven't uploaded in almost a week.
Why is that?
Got a lot of things going on, moving from campus and moving into a new place June 1st. So obviously uploads and quality and all that will be ramped up to the max when I get back at that early June. And obviously we'll have a special Beastfire episode for E3. We're going to have T Reaper on. So look forward to that. R. Kelly's coming back for an episode. And we're use your body as a porta potty. What you got going on, D? What you been up to?
Well, today I just finished watching about 3 hours of the financials of AMD, and they finally announced Vega will be coming the second half of June. That's pretty much what my day's been.
What about the Alcohol Anonymous? How you doing with that?
Oh, and I also went out and I bought Injustice for Xbox. And
you bought an Xbox game?
Yeah, you guys heard that right. He bought an Xbox game.
Yeah, I bought an Xbox game, and I also got a PSVR game, of course. I got the Farpoint bundle, so yeah, I'm gonna be doing some games in the coming weeks.
How much was that?
It's $100 here, but I think in the States it's like $80 for the game and the gun, and it's really precise. It's got,
wait, you know what's crazy? And not to throw any shade, I know we got a lot of topics to talk about, but the PlayStation VR, and I see they just redid the same goddamn gun again. That's the gun I had on the PS3 with SOCOM. Like Sony cheap as hell.
You know what? I
they're probably the same guns. They just pulled them out of the warehouse.
It's the same gun. I had that. What do you call it? Zig. That's the same one, or more or less, that I had for what's that SOCOM move with the PlayStation Move and the PlayStation 3.
It's not. Yet they don't support it. And in anticipation for this game, I actually went and bought a PS3 Move gun. And when I realized that it's not going to work with this game and I had to get this controller, that's when I went out and bundled that.
What's the difference, though? Oh, tell me, because it looks
okay. Same. Well, the new one has it's okay. It's a little bit more precise, to be honest, and they have additional motion tracking in there, and it has a dual analog stick. I believe the first one doesn't have 2 analog sticks, but in all honesty, if they wanted to make the old one work with it, they could, but they don't. They want you to buy the new.
Wait, hold on. Listen, I'm missing here. My old one, I just put the glowing dildo. Like I loaded it in the front, and I had the controller, and you control like that, and you had the camera in front of you. Like, what's the difference? Like,
the difference is they want to get more money from you.
That's but I'm just saying. What I'm asking you was this: is there something extra inside the plastic piece?
Well, yeah.
He wants you to do a teardown, D. That's what he's asking.
No, that's what I'm saying.
It has additional tracking. The placement of inside the controller itself, inside the gun. It also has the trackpad positioning and the analog sticks. They're in a very convenient place where it feels very natural. So like they designed it well. It feels natural. So I'll give them that.
So with this gun here is actually technology inside the gun, because the other one was just a holder for the dildo, and
No, it has technology inside of it. Yeah.
It's got wires that shoot in it. It's not just a plastic frame.
Shell that you put, that you loaded, the thing in, and that was
no. This doesn't come like that. This is all together. You can't take it apart. It's one way. The one that I actually got, I think it forms like 6 guns. You can take it apart different ways. This one you can. It's all one unit.
You my man, but you went to that tech shop. I thought I was a faggot that buys gadgets. God damn, D.
Yeah, I know. I got to stop it.
Hey, Dealer, you asked D when you get on the weekend, that motherfucker be in the shelter. You spend all the bill money on goddamn gadgets and calculators and wristwatches.
You're both faggots that like gadgets. Colt, what have you been up to?
I just did a video today about GameSpot building a PC that's supposed to replicate the Scorpio and the PS4 Pro.
Yeah, I know you did, you fraud, and you didn't consult with the professionals because you're claiming that your 1070 struggling at 1080p and it's a CPU issue, bro.
Right, yeah, that's right.
Okay,
But that's okay. We all make mistakes, right?
I was gonna say that for the middle of the show, but let's kick it off right now. You guys have started. Shoot, what we got? I saw
Topics.
the video about how you had the well, basically what they said, if you didn't read the article, that they built a PC and whatever with the same specs, quote unquote, the Scorpio.
They build it with a AMD FX so and so whatever. It's basically 10-year-old architecture. Yeah. And an RX 580 as well as DDR3 as well. So it's one of those things where some of the things are more capable in their rig, like obviously the CPU. It is an older CPU, but it's going to be more powerful, more capable than the Jaguars, right? Regardless if it's highly custom. Scorpio has optimization as well as the command processor, and obviously the games and the hardware designed around the games, rather, right? So it does have advantages, but I'm saying on paper, the CPU they chose is more capable, but it's a lot more power hungry as well. The GPU cannot do the same numbers on Forza Apex that Scorpio was pulling when they put the 1060, 70, and 80 on Spa in the rain up against the Scorpio. You remember that when Digital Foundry did that? Mm-hmm. The RX 580 cannot lock frames like Digital Foundry can turn the Scorpio did at 4K 60 Ultra with 4XAA. It can't do that. And I know that because the 580 is only 5% faster than a 480. So Scorpio, I think, is more capable, but the CPU is less capable, and I think they'll make that up with optimization. And of course, and that's the real deal, right? We heard they were doing they showed off an unreleased build of Forza Horizon 3 running at 4K 60. Mm-hmm. The 480, the GPU. I'm running i7 on Horizon though. That's a little difference between me and Colt are running. He crushed 60 frames in that game. They just released a patch recently to make 60 frames easier to hit. Is what I heard, which is cool. So, but I did hear they were running an unreleased build at 4K 60 with high settings or higher. They can do that with no AA. I've actually proven that on the channel. I was 5 frames off on an RX 480. So yeah, there's some mix and match here, guys. Like they did have the same 8 gigabytes, but at the same time, like Colt pointed out, they charged on the Scorpio build for Windows 10, but on the Pro build, they didn't put Windows 10 on there. You know what I'm saying? Like there is no perfect comparison, but bottom line, the CPU.
I don't understand how they don't understand. I don't understand how they don't understand the word customization. Now that DX12 chip that they have in there that helps with the draw calls to the command processors is a huge thing that they cannot replicate. They cannot replicate that, and for that alone, their whole test there is disqualified.
Yeah, well, he started off his PS4 Pro build last year saying that, with that caveat that, we can't do what a custom console can do. We can just kind of get it as close as we can. But I was really...
They didn't mention that this time, did they, Cole?
Yeah, I was put off at what he did was this same guy, this Jimmy Thang of GameSpot, built this Scorpio PC last week, but he also built the Pro model last year.
Fucking next gen playing Injustice in the background. Oh, fucking all day. Who is it? God damn it.
I don't know. That wasn't me.
Somebody's in there.
Yeah, that's Diaz and Al Seven taking the prices next week.
He's just here. He's button mashing the shit out of that controller.
That's Diaz and Al Seven trying to squirt all the hand sanitizer out.
Now, what I can hear? What happened?
So what happened was this Jimmy Thang. He did the build for Scorpio, and he did the Pro build a year before, and it's like he didn't even go back and check his build he did for the Sony console, because he contradicted the crap out of it. He's like, well, we'll err on the side of more power for the Pro, but then when he built the Scorpio, he underpowered it, and then it was funny how they said,
because he gave the Scorpio, he gave the Pro build in RX 480, correct?
Yes.
And that card is so much more powerful than the PS4 Pro. I know that because I have one. And I'm seeing what the Pro can do. 1800p high medium settings here and there. I'm watching Digital Foundry. I'll play the same game and I'm doing 4K ultra settings. So yeah, and even the 470 is faster than the PS4 Pro. What is that? 4.8 teraflops. And you can launch benchmarks. It's only about 10 to 15 frames slower than a 480, and it's still faster. So they overdid the Pro build like a motherfucker. Did not charge you for Windows 10 on that build, and then on the Scorpio build, they did get closer to the actual number of the GPU, but didn't pay attention to what Digital Foundry was saying with their benchmarks for Windows 10.
Yeah, it's their whole approach that pissed me off because they come at you with a $630 PC that's like the Pro, and then here's the Scorpio build. It's $875. And it's like you put those side by side. It's like, oh, geez. And
it's kind of a compliment, though, right? Because
I guess, yeah. I said
because
that
when it comes out at 450 or lower, or maybe a little higher, people are gonna be like, "Wow," you know.
What I think is funny about GameSpot is that they've done this a couple times where they try to insult the Scorpio or Microsoft, saying that they can't get it done, but what they end up doing is insulting what the PS4 Pro can't do. And so it's just their whole approach. They said, let's see if the PS4 Pro PC, it's kind of hard to say that, right? Let's see if the PS4 Pro PC can get 4K. Let's see if it can do it. And then they do the Scorpio and say, let's see if it can get 4K 60 Ultra. It's like, who the F is asking for 4K 60 Ultra?
Oh, yeah. And I have to say something about the 4K 60 Ultra thing, too, because they said they needed low settings to do that, right?
Right.
And the reality of the situation is, even on a 480, which is lower than a 580 by 5%, I'm getting Ultra with no anti-aliasing, because you can do 8x FXA, I think, and then you can turn MSA on. It's either that or vice versa. You can turn two different types of anti-aliasing on, and they had both of those maxed out. If you turn those off, that's another, I don't know how many fucking frames, 15 to 20 FPS back onto your frame rate for one, right? So that's almost 60 frames right there if they were just to deactivate that.
And do you need it on 4K?
No, you do not, because you're, several feet away on the TV. Even up close, 4K looks good with no AA. And even Dan Greenwald was in an interview saying you didn't need 4K or you didn't need AA at 4K. He did this 3 or 4 years ago, I do believe. So their whole test is fucked up. And not only did they give the PS4 Pro PC a RX 480, and then they give the Scorpio PC a 580, which is only 5% faster. We already know Scorpio's 40-something% faster on the GPU alone. Give another advantage to the fact that Scorpio's PC, like they would have to make a custom graphics card for the Pro, because the Pro only has 6 gigabytes available for games.
Yes, and they didn't mention
right?
That's another thing they said. They said, well, the Scorpio has 12 gigabytes of RAM, but only 8 is available for gaming. So, and I went back to
and
their
they
Pro.
didn't do that with the Pro.
They didn't say that with the Pro.
Yeah.
And didn't Digital Foundry say the percentage overpower of Scorpio compared to Pro? Wasn't it like 42% or something like that?
Something like that, yeah, on the GPU alone.
But all we have to do to put this into real world metrics is that they saw Forza running at 60 frames per second ultra, and it still wasn't maxed out. They saw this with their own eyes. Now, if what GPU is really doing that right now? Only a high-end GPU is doing that currently.
And why didn't they? They just did this 5 days ago. Why didn't they load up Forza Apex and try and replicate the same thing Digital Foundry did and actually show it on the video? Because Digital Foundry never got to show us.
Because they're idiots, bro. And if they were trying to replicate a Pro PC build, they would have used the Radeon HD 7970 gigahertz edition. That's about 4.2, 4.3 teraflops. They would have used that graphics card, not an RX 480. And you can look at the difference between that card and a 480. It's like 20 to 25 frames, I do believe. I mean, it's massive, and that's just on the PC side. So, once again, completely flawed. They separated the Pro and Scorpio's GPUs by 5% in those builds. They gave the Pro's GPU 2 more gigabytes of additional game RAM, which is an issue on Pro. Developers have been asking for more RAM. That's why you get lower quality textures compared to the competition. That's pretty much been confirmed. There's just a lot of metrics here that have not been accounted for, and they don't even look at things like Digital Foundry that have confirmed. So it's very interesting. I don't quite understand.
Here's my question. You know what I mean? Because I seen Crap did a video about it earlier, and I was actually going to do one of myself, but it kind of slipped my mind. And but I watched. Well, what did they end up spending on this 6 T-flop console to replicate the Scorpio? Did they have a cost, and what they end up at?
Yes, they did. Yeah, it was without the Windows 10 key, which you don't need for this, $777.
Okay.
With it though, their official price was $870, whatever.
Listen, I just say $800, right? That was a dumbass video. We all know that the Scorpio is not going to cost $800, right? And even if it couldn't get you 4K or what they're claiming, but you can buy a console half the cost. You know what I mean? With all the bells and whistles. You know what I mean?
Yeah. For the people that didn't watch the video, and I know it's 10 minutes long, and our attention spans are about 4 minutes. If you take the price of the Pro PC build, and then you compare it to the $400 launch of the PS4 Pro, I calculated it was 35% difference to get to a PC to the actual console price. So if I added that to the Scorpio build, it put the Scorpio projection at just under $500. So I'm still kind of staying with my prediction for Scorpio launching at 500, but
okay,
that could be a whole other conversation.
Yeah, I'm with you too on that. I do see
it'll be no more than 500, and that's a far cry from 1,000. I've heard as high as 2,000 in my comments.
I hear a lot of.
No, yeah, Bill said himself that the console it's going to be a console price, something like we never like that we have already seen before. Like,
but even if it is,
Mr. Barker, I'm going to go with $399. That's my final offer.
All right, bitch. Just be sure to spay and neuter your animals.
You know, even if it is $499, it's also going to be running this AR and VR stuff. So I don't know. I think it's worth it.
But just imagine, can we all agree on this though? That if they announce it at $399,
of course,
they're gonna be like, "Holy shit!" They're gonna go crazy.
You know what? I will say this again. As far as in the price, we have to remember this too. Like for people that want to heckle, oh, it's gonna be $5, it's gonna kill it. They have a standalone console, the Xbox One S. It's gonna be $250. That's all. Like the Pro. Oh, I'm sorry. The Scorpio for the premium console for the premium customer. If you want the latest, greatest, you get the Scorpio. And if you don't really care about the graphics and stuff, you can still buy you an Xbox One S. You know what I mean? They're going to have an entry level console still in the ecosystem. You know what I mean?
And he did say that would definitely sell more. And before I forget, everybody listening, do not forget to download Phantom Dust today for free. You have to go to the store, type in Phantom Dust. Yes, it will pop up for you for free. And before we get people to say it looks like dog shit, I didn't think graphics mattered anymore. So it's all about the gameplay, right? So yeah, definitely go pick that up. It's free.
I'm grabbing it right now.
Yeah, type it in. Yeah, but like I said, I
search for it. Jesus.
At the end of the day, we're going to talk about something. Only thing Microsoft has, and again, I don't have a problem with $500. We paid $500 for the Xbox One in December. You know what I mean? So I to me, like I said, $500 is fine, especially if we're talking about 4K, 60 HDR, game recording, and all this shit right here. Long as it looks better graphically than what we have right now, anything else on the market, Microsoft won't have a problem getting $500 from it. You know what I mean? Long as the especially the multiplats. I'm not talking about when you got to go to Digital Foundry when you got to line it up and this one has more grass, better. Long as the
this one has more bugs.
Yeah, the consumer. Now listen again, us the hardcore we don't make these companies any money. It's the casual. Long as the casual can walk inside Best Buy or wherever the hell they're Target and they see that shit and it makes their fakes melt, Microsoft won't have a problem with asking for $500.
You know, Z, if it did not have that additional 4 gigabytes of RAM, I would be a little worried about its capabilities and about if you're going to see any real difference just tangibly looking at it. But that's really more than the power, more than the 25 to 30 FPS boost on the GPU alone, right?
Mm-hmm.
RAM enables things that you just can't get on Pro. And that's one of those things that people just don't understand. They think it's going to be another Pro. It's a lot faster, and it can literally do things that Pro cannot because of that RAM.
Mm-hmm.
You will see a difference when you look at these games. Texture quality alone on an HD display, Ultra HD especially, is going to be insane.
You know, and speaking of the Pro, I see now some developers, not developers, media are starting to call Sony out for, I guess, quote lack of support.
Yeah, I saw that article.
You know what I mean?
Because the Pro's not getting support, even on games that have Pro supported on the case, like Prey. Mm-hmm. No support. Now, I predict that game will get support, just not directly at launch, obviously, as we've seen. But still, that was supposed to be mandated, and developers are already not following through. Hopefully, that's not the case with Scorpio, but Scorpio is obviously much easier to port to and develop for. That the developers already said it's the easiest thing they've ever worked for. They've got high bandwidth cables to transfer their builds in record time and everything. So hopefully that will transfer into more Scorpio support in the long run.
Well, like I said, I bought the Pro day one, and to look at the specs, you know, you say you got real world performance and you have adult specs on paper, right? We're talking about 4.2 teraflops. It's at least twice.
I think D's choking in the background, bro.
No, this is
I
sick
got
ass
someone's
dog. No, that's my dog. I adopted a new dog from.
The dog's dying. Damn.
Yeah, no. Listen, I adopted a dog that was on
choking
death
on one of
row.
your pill bottles, Z.
Yeah,
Oh, real
I adopted
talk,
a dog from Humane Study. I was on death row. This motherfucker got one lung. This motherfucker don't even put his ass to sleep. Jesus Christ. But like I said, with the Pro, and I said this, you know, I got slammed for it. I said this when I bought the thing, you know what I mean? You know, I'm excited, new tech or whatever. Again, it doesn't, I'm not saying it's not more powerful. And again, resolution does not give you better graphics. I've been saying this shit for like the last 15 years. It's the textures, the shader, you know, and so on. Sony's wasting the console resources on 1400p, 1800p. All they have to do is put the goddamn game at 1080p, if they can get 65, and let it upscale to 4K and give us better textures and better shaders. Because you know, again, you know, we're talking about the casual, you know, consumer. They don't see a big difference graphically comparing the Pro to what they already have.
I hear that all the time, right?
I do. I hear that all the time that they can't tell the difference between checkerboard 4K and 1080p. So
and they're not
900p, 1080p. No, you can't.
And they're not very clear on what game offers a PS4 Pro mode. For example, today when I was looking to get Injustice, you know, obviously I got both consoles, so I'm looking and said, okay, what does this version offer over this version? Like it says PS4.
Well, I heard the resolution. I think it's at 1440p.
Is it a higher resolution? But
he's talking about like if he's a consumer looking at the box, it doesn't tell him what he gets.
Oh no!
From that
version. They need, and Microsoft needs to take notes to this as well, so that they can be really clear to the consumer.
They used to put that on the back last gen. They used to put that on the back of the box. They used to put the resolution dimensions on the back of the box. Do you remember that?
Yeah. But you know, check it out though. And you're absolutely right, Cole. But the average Joe motherfucker's not walking into the side GameStop. Hey, tell me to see the resolution in the back of the box. Let's be clear. All that shit was propaganda, and you know, from Sony and the media or 1080p.
Yeah, it's 1080p. I'm buying it.
Hey, dealer, listen, I'm lying offline. I said this even last generation. We all know that the Xbox had the better version of the multiplex. No shits and giggles. But unless I missed it, I didn't hear console gamers arguing over resolution in frames per second. You know,
of course
Xbox
not.
Live's better than PSN, fine. Who got the better exclusives, fine. Who sells more, fine. I've never heard console gamers argue about resolution in frames per second. That's what it's been for the first three to 4 years.
You know why, Z?
Yeah.
Do you know why resolution became a big deal?
I know why, but yeah, tell the audience, yeah.
Well, because the two consoles, when PS4 and Xbox One came out, they were so similar. And I know we know the differences now, and we know that we know how many times the games have been 900p, almost all the time now, they're 900p on Xbox, but they were so similar, they had nothing else to argue about. Both consoles at launch didn't have that many exclusives, so here we were talking about resolution and frame rate.
I got a quick question. So do you think with the lack of support for the PlayStation 4 Pro, do you think we'll see another mid-gen upgrade from Sony in the future? I doubt.
No, PS5's coming.
Yeah.
I think it's so mad when I say that.
Wait, so you do think I'm on a fence again? I mean, of course it's coming, but just be clear of this, okay? Put all the fanboy shit aside. This is business. Sony really doesn't have an incentive to release one because, again, the PS4 is selling well. Now the motherfucker stops selling, then Houston, we have a problem. You know what I mean? Forget all the fanboy shit. But it's making a lot of money, especially from third-party sales of multiplex. They get like $8 a game or some shit. It's making the money hand over fist. By them, I'm not saying that they're already at work on something coming out. Why cut off the sales of the PS4? You know what I mean?
In 2 years.
Well.
In 2 years' time, the PS4 won't be selling like it is now. First of all, as Scorpio comes out and the devs wrap their head around this system, the games are going to look significantly better, and people are going to start flocking to the Xbox One. So people are going to start buying the PS4 less and less, more and more. And when
but they have dynamic 4K, D.
That's not going to. That's not going to matter. There's going to be a real big difference. So at the game.
Listen, hold your thoughts. See what you just said, right? The games are going to look better, right? Sony can do something about that right now. Stop trying to get the 1800p and the 4K, whatever. Give us 1080p Because it doesn't have a high enough memory bandwidth. They can't give you high textures and a higher resolution.
All right,
that's not going to help.
Better graphics.
Dealer and this question's for Dealer and D because they know this stuff. Can the PS4 Pro? Can they make a game like Horizon Zero Dawn run at 1800p 60? Like if they developed it that way?
No,
they've tried, and it's the Decima engine. It's their CPU basically isn't quick enough to handle the necessary draw calls. We've covered this before, actually, and that's why even their performance mode on Horizon Zero Dawn is still locked at 30, because if they uncap that, you'd see it more realistically around 45 FPS, and that's because the CPU on that thing is not quick enough. They're not using Vulkan. They're not using DX12 for obvious reason. That's only on Microsoft platforms. So they can't reduce the amount of work that CPU has to do to get the information out to the GPU to draw that next frame. And that's just 100% of the reason. Same reason Dark Souls 3, the PS4 version, runs at 45 to 50 something frames a second, never really at 60. It can't do it because the CPU is not quick enough. Not a GPU bottleneck. It's much like your CPU in Forza Horizon 3. You could play Forza Horizon 3 at 720p probably, and you'd still be around 50 frames per second. Same as at 1080. Raise it up to 1440 when you get a 4K TV, you're probably still at 50 something frames a second because your CPU wants to do that finite amount of work. You know what I'm saying?
I think the PS4 Pro, if optimized, well optimized, it's capable of 1440p, 60 frames per second, high settings. If they really crank it out, 1800p, it's just not going to happen. And Dealer's right. If they were to use a lower level API, they perhaps could close that gap, but they're not going to use it. They've come out and said they're definitely not going to use Vulkan. Obviously, they can't use DX12. They could, however, use Vulkan, but they said no, they're not going to use it, that their API is the best. And because of their API, it holds them back in certain ways. I don't think they can do it.
Yeah. And once again, if Microsoft are smart enough to communicate this to fans, hey, you got more 60 frames per second options here, and those same games can then be optioned at 4K. You have choices.
You know what I mean? Because,
Say what, bro? You seem kind of far away from your mic.
I'm sorry. Do you think, I hear what you're saying, but do you think that's something that Microsoft would hammer home? You know what I mean?
If they're smart, they absolutely need to. This whole console depends on their marketing, their messaging. They need to do it correctly this time.
Been shit this generation.
Yeah, it has been. And Aaron Greenberg's still around for some reason.
And they need to have a kiosk everywhere. they need to have a kiosk in fucking Costco. They need to have a kiosk in Best Buy. They need to have one in EB Games. They need to have it everywhere where they can showcase this system. People, like gamers coming into GameStop or EB Games, whatever, to get games, and they see the Scorpio kiosk over there. They look at the games like, oh my god,
not a GameStop. At GameStop, they have GameStop has like a 30-inch monitor there. You putting that at Costco would be huge, or at Best Buy on a big TV. That's
either way. You still see the increased texture detail and all the extra effects, that the GPU can afford you. And I think if you had, I think you said GameSpot. Someone said put one at GameSpot. It's like if that were the case, they put a film of wax paper over the screen. It doesn't look that great.
I said GameStop. Here are EB Games. GameStop. So
I got that from Colt. My bad.
It's hard to say say either one.
GameSpot.
But it's all about the games though, because if you got native 4K, you have to have good games. And I want to take a minute and talk about there are 30 more games coming out for PS4 that are coming up that aren't out yet because Sony had a strong
games titled 1, 2, and 3.
Yes, Sony had a strong spring. They had a lot of really good games, but
third party support. Yeah,
I'm gonna run through these games really quick, and I want you guys to interrupt me when I hit something that's actually noteworthy. Are you ready?
Yes.
Go ahead, go.
Okay, 2064. It looks like a DS game. Kingdom Hearts 2.8, Tales of Berseria, Yakuza 0, Digimon World, Wipeout Collection. That looks awesome. I actually like that. Divide. That's an isometric shooter. Kingdom Hearts 1.5/2.5. Danganronpa 1 through 2. Silver
I've been
Eve,
waiting for that game.
Dragon Quest 2. Now, keep in mind that a lot of the Sony gamers that comment on my channel say that they've got a crap ton of games just pouring down the front of their pants right now for 2017. Okay. Boundless. Looks like Roblox. Future Time. It's a rhythm game where you tap on the screen to a girl and pigtails dancing around. Crash Bandicoot coming to Xbox. Danganronpa V2, Death's Gambit, Final Fantasy 12, GT Sport. Put a bookmark on that, DK. Hell's Blade, Nex Machina. That game looks awesome. It's by the Resogun developers. That's an isometric like twin stick shooter. Nidhogg, side scroller. Nino Kuni, anime. Pyre.
Nino Kuni, is that the black version?
Wow.
Hey,
All right, keep going before we get fucking sued by
Christ,
somebody.
jeez. Damn, dig. Not this racial climate, not today, bro. God damn. You know,
somebody's gonna edit that and make it look like I said it.
Fire.
Fire.
Racist.
Because you did.
Papa Rappa, Shinmu 3, Uncharted.
Half
Lost
of this
Legacy.
shit already came out, bro. I thought you said you filtered this shit.
Oh, I don't know. I'm trying.
Parappa the Rapper, didn't that already come out? Nino Kuni already came out. Yakuza 0 already came out. I mean,
Oh,
I
okay,
don't
yeah,
think
there you
I don't think we need to came out.
So they have about 25 games coming. Is anything
okay.
there to pique your fans?
And a lot of that stuff I think has been confirmed to be not an exclusive. It's just releasing on PlayStation first. Things like Ace Combat 7, obviously they have that on there for the PSVR support. That's been confirmed to be coming to Xbox One. Crash Bandicoot is owned by Activision. There's a reason you had Crash games on 360. You will get Crash Bandicoot the remaster on X1. I heard that's a timed exclusive. And Gran Turismo Sport, this is a good way to segue into this. And before we do, I wanted to tackle something that I'm hearing. People are now telling me that Gran Turismo Sport was 1440p on the PS3. Not sure where that's coming from. That was 1440 by 1080, not 2560 by 1440. So they've got their vertical and their horizontal resolution counts mixed here. So it was lower than 1080p on PS3. It was, instead of 1920 by 1080, it was 1440 by 1080.
They saw that number and just ran with it.
Yeah, they ran with 1440p. So definitely lower than 1080. It was a lower pixel count. So those games did not run at 1440p. But yeah, Gran Turismo Sport has been confirmed to be 1800p checkerboarded up to 4K at 57 frames a second. And nobody is satisfied with the way this game looks. Even the hardcore guys are saying, okay, this looks like shit. You've only got 200 cars or whatever this time around, less than that maybe. And the game physics are still looking like dog shit. Just watch some gameplay.
Yeah, they're very
and this beta is very indicative of the final product, is what they're saying. The game comes out soon. This is beta footage.
Like I said,
more than anything, they're demos.
Betas are always pretty much finished product. I saw a great video today that showed GT6 on the left and GT Sport on the right. Same car, same track, and GT Sport looked very crisp and clear because you have a different resolution there, so you're seeing a lot of jaggedy textures on Gran Turismo 6. But
yeah, it was 1440p, man.
6 just looked like a better game. It just looked more rich, and the handling looked more normal. There's something weird
so
about this one.
they put the processing cycles they put into resolution on Sport. They didn't put them into resolution on 6. They put it all into the actual graphics of the game.
The actual game, since it's a video game. Yeah.
Yeah. Huh.
But guys,
I did want to say, as a simulation racer fan, it didn't look too great when they were driving around. It looked so fake. It looked so fucking fake from cockpit view. The physics, there was no weight transfer. The understeer looked horrible. It just didn't look that good at all, man. It's like they haven't learned anything.
Did you see those cars? Did you see those cars just darting in and out like they were like teleporting back and forth? That was ridiculous.
Oh, that's just PSN for you.
Hey, but
yeah,
I mean, even from back in the day, like in 2008, 9, I knew people that discarded Forza because it was on Xbox, just because Gran Turismo had the brand loyalty. You know what I mean? They had the brand, they had the name. So people, I was like, man, Forza's a better game, bro. They're like, nah, never. Gran Turismo forever. Ugh. I'm like, bro,
yeah,
it's not better. But
they've never played it, bro.
Yeah, they never played it. So they were just not getting.
Yeah, it's weird to talk about GT Sport right now when Dirt 4 is coming in a month and Project Cars 2 is going to be really awesome. I'm hearing really good things about that.
Safe to say, I think the Dirt series, the Grid series, and all those Codemaster games, I think those are good third-party racers, man.
Yeah, and Project Cars, the first one sucked, but this one it looks a lot better. Let's see how it plays, but
the visuals look better than Gran Turismo, bro. It's still the physics, though. I can tell by the way it drives because I played a decent amount of Project Cars, trying to understand how some people thought that was a great sim racer. It has a lot of sim elements, rain, dynamic weather, pitting, all that. But in regards to what it's built on, the handling, tire modeling, it's using a version of Shift 2 Unleash's physics engine. That's been confirmed.
Oh, I didn't know that.
It's not even close to simulation. So Project Cars 2 looks better than Gran Turismo Sport in terms of the visuals, but they have about the same amount of cars. Gran Turismo has less tracks, and Project Cars 2 still looks like it has kind of those crazy ass low transfer gravity weight physics. But I'm gonna buy it. I'm gonna see what it's all about. But Forza has got to be phenomenal this year. I cannot wait.
Wait, I'm sorry. We moved past that dog shit ass Gran Turismo. You moved past
that?
That?
Yeah, we're moving past it.
I just want to correct you guys. You said it's hard to think about Forza when you had what you said Project Cars and all that stuff. It's hard to look at Gran Turismo. I don't think you guys really understand this. This is Sony's flagship title, not Gran Turismo. Not Uncharted, not God of War. This is their most successful IP to date, Gran Turismo. You know what I mean? I guess here, especially overseas, in Europe, the goddamn game. This is their, maybe if only $1 billion franchise, if I'm not mistaken. This is their baby. I don't understand how should I say it? They will put the game out, and not saying just compare it to what's already out. I'm comparing it with look at Forza Horizon 3 for shits and giggles. You know what I mean? Look at that, and you got supposed to be quote unquote the pro and a more powerful console. This is not a multi-plat. This is something built from the ground up for quote unquote to take advantage of the PlayStation 4. The game looks like shit. Now listen, whether you might like Gran Turismo more than you might like Forza, that's your opinion. But one thing we all can agree on is fucking graphics. Look at that.
Okay, but at the same time though, I think the development cycle for that game kills them because I feel like for the fans, whoever's a fan of Gran Turismo, I feel 2017 it should evolve by now. They should have offered us something better, something different, something to push the genre forward, like Playground Games did. You know what I mean? Would offer it.
All day. You know what's not an opinion all day is the fact that Forza Motorsport, since its debut in 2004, has been the highest rated racing game franchise there is.
Yeah.
Right.
Since it's come out, it's consistently outscored Gran Turismo across the board overall.
Project Gotham Racing was probably better than GT.
And it came from Gran Turismo, right? And I played Forza 1, and it is what it is. But I'm just saying, overall, since Forza 1 came out, if you combine all the scores since 2004, since Forza's been a thing, since Gran Turismo's actually had competition, Forza has crushed Gran Turismo in the reviews. And Gran Turismo Sport will sell. They haven't had a racing game since Drive Club killed itself. So, we'll see.
And GT Sport was actually supposed to, everyone was expecting that game to come out last year. After E3, they thought it was going to come in by December. Remember that talk last year?
And it was supposed to. I played a version of it. It was horrible.
Yeah, my friend played it at E3, and he said it felt like garbage, and it looked really bad. And he said, holy crap, after he went on YouTube this week and saw it, he goes, it looks exactly like what I saw at last E3, like it's still not finished. And too bad for those gamers that don't like racing games because, that's the bread and butter on Xbox right now, but
and it's sad for me personally because that is the game that actually got me into PlayStation gaming. When I saw that game, I had to get the PlayStation to play that game. I spent so many hours on the original one, and to see it,
I did too.
To see it fall so far from grace, it's really sad. Like I'm looking at the car itself, like on the track. Yeah, the car looks pretty good on the track. The car itself, but that's it. Everything else about it is generic and bland. The sounds of the engine, it just looks dated. It looks really dated. I'm looking at the horizon in the distance, the mountains. I can see the sprites just looks dated. The trees, the trees like one fucking sprite.
I'm not all hate because I was actually impressed with the reflections and kind of the
lighting is good. The lighting is good.
The lighting, like the way that there was just like really bright, glowing reflections off of the cars, and
apparently that game it's running in HDR, and it's one of the first. I think it is the first game to use Rec 2020 color in it, so it'll have an expanded color range, which is the first in a video game. So it has that going for it. But with that said, it still just looks really dated. And I want to know what you guys think about Digital Foundry just trying to gloss over the fact that it's not native 4K. And I like how they gloss over the fact that it doesn't hold 60 frames per second. The guy's like, yeah, you know what? Yeah, sometimes it dips down into the 50s, you know. But you know what?
Oh my gosh!
It's not really that bad. It's like, what? Are you fucking serious?
Last gen's racers were locked at 60, like almost every single one of them that I remember. Shoot, I played
everything but Need for Speed, pretty much. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, all those, that was really important for racers to be locked at a high frame rate. And here we are with the super powerful PS4 Pro, and they're saying that 1800 looks like 4K and 56, 57 frames per second is great.
Somebody,
if you play the game from outside and look through your front window, it does look like 4K.
Somebody in the comment section summed it up perfectly for me. They said that apparently Microsoft's checks did not clear with Digital Foundry.
Oh my god!
Because that's some bullshit. Like, can you say that checkerboarding up to 4K, like it's commendable? Sure. To really sit there and say there's no difference is fucking bullshit.
That never gets old when we make the joke that you have to stand in your neighbor's backyard and run the go ahead and run the PS4 Pro through an Xbox One S so you can see true 4K.
And if I'm correct, the checker, if I'm, maybe Dealer can do the math on this. If I'm correct, the discrepancy between checkerboarding and 4K is more than the 900p and 1080p. Is it not?
It's actually kind of close. That's I've wanted to do a video on that, but it's around 43% difference, 900p to 1080p. The difference between 1800p to 2160.
Okay,
but if you just play it outside and look through your neighbor's window, you can't tell.
Ridiculous.
So just do it that way.
Ridiculous.
But what we
crazy.
can't factor in is the 43% difference on a 1080p TV may not be as noticeable as a high pixel density display like a 4K TV. That 43% may be more noticeable. On a 4K TV, I'm not sure. I'll defer to the experts on that.
The higher, and this is an absolute fact, as a matter of fact, some people might not like it, but the higher your pixel density is, the harder it is to tell that you have more pixels, right? Makes sense? The less pixels you have, if you add more, they're more noticeable. If you're running at 1800p, then 4K, hey, maybe it's not night and day, but that's at 1800p. That's not the problem. I would say they're better off running at 1800p, but when they checkerboard, and this is proven, anytime you're moving, facting in the image.
That's the worst.
So when you checkerboard and your character's moving around, a lot of developers are implementing ridiculous amounts of motion blur to cover up all of these artifacts that appear around edging, because you go from 4K at a still image, and then you're instantly downsampled to 1800p in motion. Is basically the easiest way to explain this, and it creates artifacting. So, once again, if they just didn't checkerboard, the image will be cleaner in motion.
And for those of you that don't know what artifacting looks like, just imagine when you're watching compressed video on the internet, you'll see big chunky textures, right? That will kind of pop in randomly.
Yeah, it just makes the image. It's more visual noise is what they call it. And we can move on from this Gran Turismo shit. Everyone knows. We'll see how it does, but I think it'll sell well, and that's what Sony really care about. They don't give a shit if it's good. But the quality of the game, no. I don't see it matching Forza's probably 800 cars or more, and probably around 50 tracks, and all their features they'll probably have.
Yeah, they said how many cars Gran Turismo's coming.
Turismo on the PS3 had like 1,200 cars, but many of those they said were PS2 ports. You didn't have in cockpits; you were racing inside a dishwasher box. And the quality of most of those cars were horrible.
And when I played it last summer, they still had a lot of those cars in the game.
Yep. So Forza started from the ground up with Forza 5, and people hammered them for less cars. We'll see if Gran Turismo Sport gets hammered for much less cars and content, because they've effectively cut out most of their roster. I think they might be starting over and doing what Turn 10 was smart enough to do in 05 or with Forza 5. What else is on the topics list? See, we got some Ubisoft games confirmed for this year, right? This fiscal year, right?
Fiscal. Yeah.
Fiscal. We've got Far Cry 5 and oh my God, The Crew 2. Who asked for that?
You know what? The Crew wasn't a bad game.
The Crew wasn't that
The Crew. It was like the servers.
The crew sucked
No, the
until
crew
you
sucked.
played it.
Everything about
Yeah.
the crew sucked.
No, but the idea, you know what I mean? But
It suck.
you know, I just think it was, you know, the idea, I guess, it kind of underachieved, but you can't have an always online.
The game is good for a casual like Z, bro. I'm telling you.
Well, for peer to peer, the net code is horrible in that goddamn game. Like Ubisoft, like, you know, they bugging for that.
Oh
shit.
yeah.
I didn't
No,
even think it sold well enough to get a sequel. I'm just blown away if this is accurate that it's happening.
It's no. I think they announced it.
Yeah, it's happening.
Yeah, so it's insanely crazy to me.
Yeah, the crew, yes, it's coming.
What'd you do? Buy 16,000 copies of Z by yourself?
You know, and believe it or not, they might have made their money with you know, map packs, DLC, how that shit goes. So, you know, maybe that's what kept it afloat.
You gotta love Ubisoft's DLC lately. Narco Road, a fucking Ghost Recon game where they give you a racing game DLC.
Oh my god.
What?
Yeah. You look it up. It's some of the worst DLC ever. I think that was part of the season pass where literally to gain the favor of some drug lord guy, you've got to join like a street racing thing, some shit, and race around. Like this is a racing game.
Hey, check it out. You want to
Recon.
race me, Holmes?
You know what's
Hey, I
crazy,
get
yo?
first
I just thought
place.
about this.
Give you a kill.
Story-wise, their games have been shit this generation. Didn't Bill Clancy was my man named Tom? Didn't he die or something?
Bill Clancy.
Yeah, whatever the fuck. his
Yeah,
name
he
was.
died. He saw what they did to his name and he killed over, bro.
Yeah, I don't think they're using him anymore. 'Cause remember, all their games used to be about
He turned over in his grave like, you motherfuckers.
yeah.
Like,
You know
what the
maybe
fuck is End War? Ugh!
Yeah, they been you know what I mean? Been dog shit, but they post show off. Of course, Assassin's Creed, but we also Splinter Cell. You know,
I want to
Yeah.
ask you though, because I haven't really played. I played like the beta and whatever, but I haven't played the retail release. And I know you have a Z, and I know some of the other guys have it. I thought it was going to be mediocre. It seemed really bland to me.
It's very mediocre.
How did the actual game turn out?
Very mediocre.
I haven't.
Very
Yeah,
nice.
it depends. Like all day, I don't know if you played it with friends too much, but
I did.
I played a little bit yesterday with my buddy Yella, and we kind of went on one mission. And what you do is you go to a yellow explanation point, you get a clue,
Yep.
you throw some shit in a barrel, the least secure barrel ever, and then
what game are you talking about?
you go straight.
Talking about Wildlands.
Oh,
Yeah.
it's
And then
fun with
and then
friends.
you go do a mission, and you do that 4 or 5 times until you find the main guy in that area, and then you just go shoot him in the head, and he's dead. So it's kind of rinse and repeat.
It's very. It's
I
actually.
mean, maybe not by itself. It's too much shit going on. But if you're running with a crew of 4, I think it's fun.
It's not too bad.
Yeah, you know what I mean. Yeah.
But it does need a Scorpio patch, that's for sure. It doesn't look too horrible. I think they said they're running some high settings on Xbox One when they compare the PC version, but it definitely needs more RAM and stuff for draw distance and all that. So I don't know.
Yeah, you know.
PC too, though. To be honest.
What'd
He's
you say?
outside
We can't
playing
hear
his
you.
4K TV.
Yeah, Wildlands ran on PC. Like, they ran rough. Like I don't even think you can do a constant 1440p with good frame rates on that game.
Yeah, they might have patched it since then, but yeah, it's not the greatest. It's a typical example of Ubisoft just making a cookie cutter, padded out single player where you do the same thing over and over and over. They count on you playing with friends to kind of make up the difference.
Well, that's what
Yeah, and I'm getting sick and tired of their idea of open world games. Actually,
There's a lot going on in that
Yeah, no
game.
story, no narrative, no quality side quests. They just do the same shit. Go here, hold out for 5 minutes. Go here, kill
Oh
this
my
guy.
gosh.
Go get this.
their reveal trailer last year was like so awesome.
Yeah,
Like it had this feeling like you were going to go in and you're just going to snuff out the cartel. And then you get the game and you got some chick going, Whiskey Tango Foxtrot, what's your sit rep? And then sends you over to
Yeah, I got some chicken nuggets. We're going to throw them in this barrel. All right, Roger? Yeah. It's not great. And I'm still waiting. You remember that trailer? What was that game called? The Division? The Division? I'm waiting for that game to still come out. I watched the trailer the other day. It looks awesome.
The Division.
Yep. Brand new game. Looks awesome.
Ooh.
Just waiting for it to come out.
Being sarcastic.
Are you, really? Is it flying over your heads that bad? Go watch the first trailer for The Division. That is not even the same
It's a
game.
joke. It's a joke. Yeah, I mean, but
Oh, that's what they do.
that's been Ubisoft's thing this generation, the bait and switch. Look what they did with Watch Dogs at the start of the generation. You know what I mean? That was nothing like what they showed us in 2012. But also, maybe, like I said, what may give that goddamn game some legs, is PvP, which they're supposed to be adding to Ghost Recon. You know what I mean? That's what
Just
Ghost Recon
release
was
like
all
4
about.
squads of 4 into the map and kind of just at different points and let them set up and go prone through the bushes and find each other, right? That'd be cool.
Well, listen, if you think about Ghost Recon history, that's what was about PvP. You know what I mean?
We'll see.
You know, I don't
It
know.
is made by those
What
French
happened.
fucks, so we'll see.
I don't know what the hell happened, how they lost their way. Before there was a Call of Duty, it basically Ghost Recon was the shooter. And Halo and Ghost Recon and Rainbow Six, those were the shooters. I don't know what.
I'm telling you, Ubisoft are too busy fighting off hostile takeovers to make sure their games are beat, man, or completed.
Anymore. Now they're well established. Back then, yeah, I remember EA with a little percentage of them. But
I think they're still going. I think they're still trying to battle off.
Yeah, they just avoided a hostile takeover like a few months ago. Ubisoft.
I'm saying from who though? Who's
I don't know. Somebody's buying up all their stocks and trying to get their company out from under.
And it's been going on for a while. They've been aware of it. They've tried to.
You don't let it happen. Maybe someone will take their ideas and actually make them good. Because
that's.
I mean, I do like Ubisoft because they have really good ideas. I've said this a million times. They just don't know how to frickin' make a game out of them.
They do. They just released them unfinished. They did it with Division. They did it with Rainbow Six Siege. They haven't made a complete game since Assassin's Creed 4.
It's not like they work on them over time. Division's still not finished. It's not the game I want still. I own that thing digital on Xbox. But, you
can't just patch in what was promised with that game. I mean, it's a different game.
I know.
You can't just update that game, and it's a completely different game. The way you find weapons, now it's just a light on the ground. Before, it showed the guy picking up a scar out of a weapons case he found in an armory during a side mission. It was completely different, and they cut it all out to rush.
Is it like a focus group? Do they have like some conference room table full of douchebags that take their idea and say, no, here's what you're going to do. You're going to have people go into the dark zone and shoot each other and then pull on the rope and then
what fails them? What fails them is their testers, to be honest. They don't have the best testers. The testers should be pointing these things out or saying, hey, this is not fun, or hey, keep it like this. And they're not doing their job.
I wouldn't say it's the testers, though, Z. I would say it's the fact that management said, hey, we can't achieve this in the next 2 years. Cut this out, we'll release it this year. And that's exactly what's happening.
Yes, they have to project what money's coming in, which fiscal year for the investors, or they're going to start backing out. And this is how business has ruined gaming, when gaming used to be so great. So now it's down to
you could sell anything back in the day, right? But, with Assassin's Creed, though, bro, it's like that's one of those games where I'm glad they skipped a year because hopefully they've invested in both a good story narrative and some good side missions that people actually care about,
So am I the only one that is excited about this Far Cry 5 Old West game? It seems like it.
I'm not a big Far Cry.
Let's hear in the comment section. You guys excited for this Far Cry Old West game?
Yeah, woo!
Yay! Nope.
I've never been a fan of Far Cry. I don't know. It's not my thing.
I like Far Cry, but it does tend to be a lot to do in that game. The last one I really liked was 3.
Oh yeah. But I don't know. We'll see. There'll be a bunch of big games being shown off by EA and Ubisoft, and then of course you have Sony, who's got the marketing rights to everything that's ever been made.
That's a hit. That's the million dollar question. What the hell? What is Sony going to show? We already seen God of War,
Spider-Man,
huh?
Spider-Man, Days Gone, God of War.
Spider-Man, God of War, Days Gone, and they're probably going to show us two new games, and probably that Dead Stranding shit. They're probably going to show us some new shit of that.
What about you?
When's GT Sport releasing?
December, August.
Okay, so they'll show GT Sport, obviously, because it won't be out yet. But yeah, I don't know.
You know what I mean? That's the question. What the hell? You know what I mean? They're already riding heavy with the. They're probably gonna. I guess probably.
Oh, they're gonna show. What's that game? Something human. No, Detroit. Sorry, Detroit.
Yeah,
they got that. Oh, Hellblade too. They got Hellblade.
No, yeah, Hellblade. Spider-Man, we'll see for sure. New Sucker Punch, new game too.
Yeah,
I know that's one new
game. Maybe new Infamous.
Yeah, they do Infamous. You might see Sly Cooper. I don't know. You might see another rendition. If we see another Infamous, I'm turning the TV off, bro.
You know, but the last one, the last one started off cool. It's got a little repetitive after.
You know what? I just think the dialogue is really cringy. It's a fake X-Men. I think First Light was better than
No, I like Infamous, man. That was.
I mean, if you're a cornball, you'll like it.
Nah, man. Infamous wasn't corny. Infamous was a good game, man.
Nah, I think the first two were good, but that
the last one was good. Okay, the main character, he wasn't the most fucking lovable. I'll give you that.
Okay.
But it was still fun to play. And then the DLC with Fetch is fun. There's no replay value. I'll give it that. Like, you know, once you're done.
Yeah, once you're done, you're done.
But playing the game itself, I found it enjoyable. And fucking looks good to this day. It still holds up. It looks good.
Yeah, it looks good.
Yeah, it's not as populated the city, but remember, this was kind of like a launch title.
Does it have any PS4 Pro enhancements for
No, I don't think. I'm not sure.
Okay, so here's the thing with E3 that we have to talk about. So there's heavy rumors that God of War 4 isn't ready for 2017, and also rumors that Days Gone isn't ready for 2017. So what does that leave?
Oh,
Gran Turismo Sport. That's the only
Gran Turismo Sport, Uncharted DLC, and one more thing. What is it? One more game for Sony.
Spider-Man.
Spider-Man. Yeah. So basically, there's all those little games that I mentioned about 20 minutes ago. All those little Japanese indie titles that's coming out.
You got the Uncharted DLC.
Yeah, I said Uncharted DLC, Spider-Man, and GT Sport is pretty much the big games coming for exclusives for Sony, and Xbox has hopefully Crackdown 3 and
State of
Sea of
Decay 2.
Thieves.
State of
Decay 2. And then Cuphead, which is actually, I don't know if I'm being biased, but I think that is actually a really cool looking indie.
It is.
It's such a sick. I can't wait.
Oh, it looks so cool.
It plays so well. It's like it plays like you're fucking watching a car. I died a couple times just looking at the animations. Like, oh shit.
Yeah, it's got that chromatic aberration to like get that like look that the film's breaking up.
Also, Microsoft did. Aaron did say they had some announced games for 2017. So.
And I'm sure Sony will have a one or two games to surprise. But I don't think Sony's going to have a surprise game. I don't think Sony's going to have even one surprise game that's going to be ready to release this year.
I think Sucker Punch is surprising. That's about it.
No, maybe the thing though. Honestly, they don't need them. They don't need one.
No, they don't.
If they were to put out one of those big exclusives, just say this holiday season, no one's going to buy that when you have. And how great the game may be. You got Red Dead Redemption 2.
Yeah,
exactly. You got Destiny 2. You got Call of Duty. You got Star Wars Battlefront. They don't need to release an exclusive. You know what I mean? And
they don't
have to, but you know they're gonna do the bundles. They're gonna do the themed consoles.
Yes,
that's what they got. You know what I mean?
Sony hasn't been releasing big games in the holiday since the PS4 came out. They just haven't.
Well,
they've had maybe one.
Change the model. Stop competing with these multiplats that outsell you and outshine your games.
Yeah.
Release them January,
spring and summer.
March. Yep. January to March, they will sell a lot more because gamers are tired of the games they got over the holidays. They want new shit. They're bored. January, February, they're at home. You got a AAA blockbuster game. Perfect. You have the gamer will have all the attention on that game.
Yeah, and they don't get it because if you're strictly a console gamer, usually anywhere from June until August, you don't get any games. There's nothing coming out. And like we talked about that last time, like Titanfall 2 should have released in June, and it wouldn't have taken such a hit. I mean, that was such a stupid thing to do.
Thing, though, and just to be fair, I was going to do a show on this, but the reason why Microsoft and Sony, you see Microsoft, they ride heavy during the holiday season with the exclusives. But look at the exclusives that Microsoft released. They're, like you say, service type games that will continue to get money all year long. They might not sell well, or and during the holiday season. Well, those games will continue to get revenue, whether it be DLC, the map packs. You know what I mean? Look at Forza Horizon. They thought, especially 3. You know what I mean, or even 6. They thought they didn't do that well in sales. It's $1 billion franchise. You know what I mean? With Sony, they don't have that market. Sony games are more or less single player experiences. You want to get done. Who the hell is talking about Horizon Zero Dawn now? Nobody. You know what I mean? And the greatest that goddamn game is. You know what I mean? The only game that really had kind of legs for Sony that they talked about was Bloodborne. You know what I mean? The games that Sony, are they strong to? Are they single player experiences? Well, I'm not saying this right. I'm not trying to damage what Microsoft does, but they released a game. Microsoft really rides heavy during the holiday season. Black Friday, Christmas, they're there. You know what I mean? Of course, the multiplats are going out and sell it. But with those games there, you always go back to. You got the DLC, you got the multiplayer. as far as on Sony aspect, they don't have that there. You know what I mean? So that's just my take on it. You know what I mean? You know, as far as that, well, I mean, why they don't, or what Microsoft probably does. You know what I mean? Shit. But even if they release, you know, Crackdown, if it comes out, I don't expect those sales to be, you know, stellar. You know what I mean? But probably it's going to have legs. They're probably going to support it again with DLC and all types of stuff like that. You know what I mean? I do think though that Sea of Thieves is going to get pushed to 2018, from what I'm hearing, but I don't know.
If you're gonna go against these multiplats, your game, it has to stand out. It has to look completely different, be like in a league of its own to get the proper attention as well. So if you're gonna release it against these guys, it better be something completely different that these guys can't do.
I don't know, man. I don't know. What do you think, Gil? You get your mic in your ass again?
Yeah, it's up there, and I can talk to you now. So I don't even know what the question was, man.
Told you.
My internet has AIDS here, so you know it's the same reason I'm not uploading every day.
Yeah. No, he was talking about. He was saying about what Sony. Colt said about Sony when they're going to release this holiday season. And basically saying, I would say, you know, I think they don't really need anything because who's going to buy God of War when you have, like I said?
Oh no! God of
War will sell regardless.
If God of War came out this year, yes, it would sell right next to Red Dead 2. But you know, Spider-Man, you know, it could be that'll get a lot of sales. But you know, like he makes a good point. Spider-Man comes out in November, you know, who's buying Spider-Man when Red Dead Redemption 2 happens to come out in November? So, like he said, Sony and Microsoft need to back off on some of the holiday exclusives and save them for January to
let me say
July.
Let me reword my words, okay? Of course, you know, we look at God of War. You know, that's Sony's big thing. The game looks great. I can't wait to play it. But God of War has never been a big seller. Never been a big seller.
Is that true?
Got attacked on a multiplayer in God of War Ascension. You know what I mean? Maybe to give the goddamn game some legs. God of War has never ever been a big.
Well, God of War Ascension undersold. But really, the thing we should focus on is Spider-Man, because this isn't the first fucking Spider-Man game to come out, and last time I checked, this is the only one I've ever heard real hype behind. Spider-Man, The Amazing Spider-Man 2 came out this generation, and you didn't hear anything from the Sony guys. And why is
trash?
that? Because, well, not only is it trash, because it is. It's not a PS4 exclusive, so of course they weren't hyping it up. And secondly, it's one of those things where, like I said, it's the only reason it's catching the wind that it's catching is, yes, it does look much better than the first one, but the fact that it is an exclusive.
It's also by Insomniac.
Is the only reason most of these people are hyping it up.
Looks good though.
Because they didn't hype the last one, right?
Now, dealers right.
They didn't even give a.
Well, the last one was shit. The only Spider, they've been based around movies.
I'm just saying we don't know if this was gonna be shit or not. It looks good visually, and that was my second point that I actually forgot about. Mm-hmm. Is that people say graphics don't matter, but the fact that Spider-Man looks so good, those graphics and animation are so good. That's what's got you hyped about Spider-Man. That's what's got you hyped about Spider-Man more than anything is the way that the game looks. So don't tell me graphics don't fucking matter.
I think all that's pre-rendered. I've watched that trailer so many times. I used it for a video.
Nah, there was actual gameplay in there. That wasn't pre-rendered.
On the roof, that was actual gameplay.
But you got to remember too that Ubisoft do the same thing before they release something. Everyone does the same thing before they release something. Go look at the Prey first gameplay from Prey. That looked phenomenal. And obviously, we're not seeing the best of it on console, but even on PC, I would kind of argue the fact that, hey, maybe it doesn't look quite that good. They run it through all kinds of post-processing measures before they release that kind of stuff. So, and who knows what it's actually rendered at natively, and then it's downsampled to the highest possible resolution on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So they have their little tricks to make shit look as good as it possibly can. It's all they spend millions of dollars to figure out how to do this, and they've been doing it for a decade now. It's nothing new. So Spider-Man looks good, but I'm just saying people are hyping it up because it's exclusive this time, and they're also hyping it up because it looks so good. The animation's so good, it's accurate. They don't give a shit otherwise.
And you could tell the way they hype it up. They don't say Spider-Man looks awesome. They're like, Spider-Man, oh, I'm so glad I'm a PS4 owner. Oh,
the only reason I'm hyped for it is Insomniac. That's it.
Yeah. Well, yeah.
Yeah, and I don't care who made it. If it's a good game, it's a good game, right? So even if it weren't them, it still looks good to me. I would just say that, yeah, Spider-Man is going to be good for 12 to 15 hours. God of War is going to be good for 12 to 15 hours. But fuck, after that, You're going to be playing Battlefront 2. You're going to be playing Red Dead. You're going to be playing Destiny 2. You're going to be playing Assassin's Creed. You're going to be playing all these fucking games that are multi-plans, and you're going to want them to look as best as possible.
Mm-hmm.
It would have been good if
on a console.
Would have been good if Microsoft got a deal with Red Dead Redemption though, because the Rockstar games have fucking legs, man. It would have been a feather in their cap, man. They let that one go.
You know what's crazy though? You know what Sony's gonna do, and not to him again. And listen, I take my hat off to them. You know, yes, they don't have the most powerful hardware this holiday season. I didn't even think about what Sony's gonna do. You're gonna see that theme Star Wars goddamn PlayStation 4 Pro. I don't give a slap what's from Yoda in front of that motherfucker. You're gonna see that. You're gonna probably see a theme goddamn Red Dead Redemption goddamn PS4 Pro. You're gonna see probably a theme Destiny 2 white PlayStation 4 Pro. Sony gonna have the goddamn bundles, and you know what I mean. That's what they're gonna do. You know what I mean. I don't know what. I don't know. Microsoft, like I said again, they kind of dropped the ball this generation with that, as far as the marketing, with the quote unquote with the multi-plats and the deals that they.
Bro, it sounds like your microphone is in your asshole right now.
See me. What about now? You hear me?
Yeah, there you go.
All right,
there you go.
Yeah, but that's what Sony's gonna do. They're gonna be riding high with the goddamn bundles and the theme goddamn console this holiday season. You know what I mean? Look,
yeah.
What I mean? Yeah.
And hey, for the public, yeah, will they be misled? Of course they will. When they have Battlefront 2 posters, it says exclusive, and in small print, it says a beta. It's 5 days early or something, right? Of course, people are going to be misled, but ultimately, Digital Foundry are going to help us tell the story for the second half of this generation, as well as word of mouth. It's one of the biggest reasons PS4 sold well. It's going to be hard not to tell the difference if you really sit down and look at these games. So we'll see, man. I can't wait to see what's going to happen. E3 is only, 3 weeks away, 4 weeks away?
3 weeks away.
That's insane, man.
We ask you guys a question. Microsoft, they have the, what do you call it? The mixed reality $400 headset. Rumored to have a open world MMO or something.
Who cares?
What do you guys think?
All day cares.
I mean, I know my man is excited. He can't wait to promote his shit. What do you guys think? You think it's going to take off from Microsoft?
Not interested, and if they waste E3 time on that, you'll hear from me, because that's not what they need to focus on. They don't need to push more shit. They don't need to push VR until next year, and I actually think they'll hold off till next year to really push VR. I think this year is all about Scorpio and 4K and what you can get with the games on the new console they're pushing out. Obviously, it's still VR ready. It'll do VR very well. We know that with how powerful the GPU is. So once again, if they do it, it's not great. And I highly doubt they'll make a massive game just for mixed reality. They want to sell units. They've proven that time and time again. So they're not going to make a massive game for a headset that has 4 units out there. Even at 400,000, 4 million units, they wouldn't make a return. If every motherfucker bought that game, they probably wouldn't make much of a return. So I'm not buying it.
Guaranteed Microsoft's going to waste a bunch of time.
We're
They're
going to
going to waste a good quarter of their conference on some stupid stuff.
They are.
I don't think they're going to go too much into detail about the VR stuff, to be honest with you, because that stuff's not coming out to the fall, and they're going to have another time to launch that. They're going to let us know that Scorpio Sports VR.
Didn't they spend like 10 minutes of that douche standing there looking at the Minecraft table?
And that's
Gosh.
That was HoloLens, though. That was actually really cool. But that was wasn't that a different section of an event? Like last year when they showed Minecraft again with everyone has Xbox Live on Minecraft now. Yay! Like, get the fuck off the stage. That could have been a press release. You're wasting time. That was 10 to 15 minutes. And that took the whole conference down a notch. Literally.
I cannot wait for Connectimals 2. That is just going to be
you know what's crazy that you say that shit? I've been saying that forever. The indies do not belong on the big stage. Crap used to argue me. No, they got it show. They got it because Sony took it.
Well, he doesn't think that they should take time on the stage. He's just saying he understands why.
That's why you have the pre-E3 show and you got the IGNs. People come to see E3 for the fucking Michael Bay over-the-top Transformer 19. Not the wincy.
That indie haze that everyone had though a few years ago, bro. That shit subsided quite a bit in terms of having it on. Like Sony wasted I don't know how many minutes on the stage with indies, right?
Yeah.
I think this year they're starting to really go back to their traditional type of games they're showing off there. They did the indie thing because it was all the craze to embrace the indies back then, and that was one thing Sony had on the PS4 over the X1 at launch. It was more indies. So, of course, they're going to double down on it. And then people thought Microsoft were anti-indie because of their little policy where if it doesn't release here at the same time, you can't release it unless you go through another program.
Yeah.
Microsoft, as a result, showed indies on their stage to say, hey, we're not anti-indie. That was an older policy, whatever. We're doing ID at Xbox. So I get it. I hope it doesn't reoccur.
Oh, wow. It is what it is. Phantom Dust, your thoughts?
Free.
You about it? You hate it? You love it? What?
Well, it's good. You know what? It's free, so you can't really say anything about it. It's a fan service. If you like it, you like it. You don't, you don't. They're not charging
They'll
you
be
for
making
it.
that money through the microtransactions, so be careful.
Yeah.
But hopefully, hey, Injustice 2 has microtransactions. That shit is $60. So hopefully Phantom Dust gives you plenty of rewards and you don't have to grind too hard for them. Otherwise, they will hear about it from outlets, etc. So Injustice so far, from what everyone's saying and I'm hearing, gives you plenty of rewards and it does it quickly, right? So you're not really even tempted to do microtransactions. That's how Phantom Dust needs to be.
And the microtransactions for Injustice are purely cosmetic.
It could be what?
Yeah, cosmetic.
Okay.
Just cosmetic.
Are they pure? Is it not new pieces of armor that can buff your character though in the other fighting mode, or is it only cosmetic?
Yeah, it's only cosmetic. They don't buff you at all. There's no stats attached to the armor or shaders.
Oh, okay.
That's cool.
Okay.
So
Well,
it's completely. And it's a certain type of currency. It's not really in game. I mean, it's in game, but it's only a strict currency.
I think I got some of it because I beat the tutorial earlier. I had time to do the tutorial, and I got like 500 or 500,000 crystal something. I don't remember what it was called.
Yeah, it's the crystals.
500 pounds.
Yeah. I don't even know if that's a lot. But they gave me some for doing the damn tutorial.
Yeah.
What the gay are you guys talking about?
Injustice. Come on.
Colt, you cool as fuck.
Freaking collecting crystal. You guys playing Gem in the Rock?
Like, here's what you don't understand, Colt, is in Injustice, in the world of Injustice, all superheroes and villains are powered by crystal meth. And you have to unlock this crystal. That's how it works. So.
Hey, listen.
Then you buy new armor with drugs. Like, that's exactly how they planned it.
A fan of fighters. Just the story alone, like honestly, I'm not even bullshitting you.
But you gotta understand, Colt's more of a PC fag, and those guys they don't have Injustice. So.
They don't have
Yeah, the guy. Injustice didn't come to PC. Oh man, it's fucking awesome.
No,
HDR
Injustice did not come to PC yet, but it will.
And this goes back to my argument that I said a couple of weeks ago. If you're a true gamer, you have to get a console because not all the games come on PC, and of course, not all of them come right away. Look at GTA. Look how long GTA took to come to PC.
They're still waiting on Red Dead 1.
Yeah.
Okay. Also, to check it out, a kind of a rumor, but that can't happen. Microsoft, or Phil with the.
Get on the mic.
You can't hear me?
No, dude.
Yeah, the mic in his arm.
It's that tooth, bro.
No, hello, can you hear me?
You sound awesome. Go.
All right, go.
It's for the Xbox fans.
Yeah. Okay. Look,
You sound like you had the mic
Microsoft-
around his white beater.
with the Game Pass, right? Check it out. The creator of Hitman, Interactive, they're leaving Square Enix, and with the Hitman IP, that's a game that can be done on quote unquote the game, Microsoft Game Pass, because the last one released episodic. What do you guys think about that? And it can be an exclusive. They're up for sale right now in the IP. The creators of Hitman.
I didn't bother buying the last Hitman.
No, well, it's a good game.
I mean, the episodic thing, I'm not into it. I will never be into it. I will never pay you for a game in chunks. Never.
Not also Game Pass. You're not interested in.
It depends. You know what? It depends.
The Game Pass is different because you get full games, right? You download them at will, $10 a month, best deal out there for the service.
Yeah, but
this is different. Where Hitman is. I'm talking about episodic, like.
Yeah.
Unless they made a new Hitman game.
No. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. You're right. The last one was episodic. They gave you like 3 missions, and every month you got a mission. What I'm saying is this: they were talking about evolving the service like a Netflix type service series.
No,
in a game like Hitman would fit there. You know what I mean?
I don't want that.
Even though you're paying $10 a month. What I'm saying.
Yeah, but are they saying they're going to deliver those games episodically, or are they saying that service is going to have exclusive games that are only going to be on that service?
Well, you listen to Phil's interview. He's open to it. But what I'm saying is this though: you have a game or a studio that don't have much money. And, I'm just looking at the glass vein half empty here, right? They don't have much money, and they can put the game on the service. You're still already paying $10 $10 a month for the service, and you can, a game like Hitman will be there exclusively only to, the Xbox Game Pass. You think it's a bad idea?
So would they not release that physically at all? It would just be on Game Pass.
Possible.
Yeah, that's a fine idea
to get a service some value.
Yeah, that's a fine idea, and
I see it as them holding shit back though to give it more value.
Well,
if you take something away to add value to something, that's a negative to me.
But that's like Netflix. Like Netflix, if you don't like what they have, there's fucking Amazon. If you don't like that, there's Hulu. If you don't like that, there's other streaming services, right? So you're not forced to do it, but if you want to enjoy that, then it's there. And if they price it and market it right, I could see it working. It just got to be priced.
I'm just saying, if they're going to go through the trouble to do all that, they need to release that game on their store as well.
But
you shouldn't take it off your store to make Game Pass more appealing from your own customers.
What I'm saying is the company is up for sale and their IP, basically.
Mm-hmm.
But it's not like Microsoft. He's saying like, okay, say I'm fucking Tom Joe. I go to fucking Microsoft, say I want to make a game. Say, okay, put it on this server, and it's fucking there. You could try it. Not necessarily every AAA game should follow that path, but for young developers that are trying to get their game out there, I don't see it being a bad idea.
It's going to happen. How these, I don't know, but I don't know. Games are becoming more and more expensive to make, but what I'm saying, this company is up for sale, and that IP specifically, I think Microsoft should snatch them up. They don't have, as far as they first studios, they don't have much.
They didn't bother with the good shit like Mortal Kombat, bro. Shit.
Well, that was back in.
And they're gonna snap up fucking IO Interactive.
They want to snatch up Killer Instinct.
The only thing I want Microsoft to snatch up is that fucking Cry engine. That's the only thing I want them to snatch up. To be honest with you.
Are they still up?
Well, I want them to take that. I want them to take the technology and maybe take their tech guys and then put it together with their gaming division so they can make a proper game. Because those guys, they know how to make a game look pretty, but they don't know how to get the mechanics and the story and all that shit right. But the technical stuff and how it looks and operates, they get that down pat.
Are they still open? I thought they went belly up.
No, I don't think they're belly up yet.
Yeah, you done threw the mic out the window, bro, and you're yelling at the mic.
They ain't belly up yet.
Man, I thought I was bad with my Taco Bell.
Man, it sounds like
I don't know. His dog half of the time sounds like it's sawing something, and if his dog doesn't sound like it's sawing something, it sounds like he ate some dirt or something.
He's over there with a sick dog, and Next Gen has the mic hanging out of a window with a bed sheet and knots.
Do you want the triple crunch wrap supreme, or do you want it with the nacho cheese?
Right.
I'll take all of it, motherfucker. Put the mic closer.
Don't be scared.
Yep. Yeah. We got any other topics here?
Yeah, there was something else I wanted to talk about.
Besides Next Gen can't figure out a good distance from. Find your range, bro. Find your range.
Hey, review tech.
About Scorpio making PC gaming better with the 12 gig. Well, I brought that up last week too about the 12 gigabytes of RAM, because it'd be normal for them to port this over to PC because they're used to working with a lot of RAM.
Yeah, that's just common sense. That's like when next gen consoles came out, PCs took a boost in visuals as well when they dropped 360 support and stuff. If they support a console at 12 gigs, they'll support more RAM on the PC. Probably much in the way that they supported Arkham Knight. Astronomical amounts of RAM you needed back when that game came out. A lot of people couldn't even play it, even though the GPU was capable. They didn't have enough VRAM. So even with a capable card, they would still just run slow shit, and they thought their cards just weren't powerful enough. It turned out they just didn't have enough VRAM. Yeah. So who knows? You might see more Arkham Knight style scenarios.
And the other situation about them making so many games for the console first and then porting to PC, which seems so backwards. But yeah, now that the consoles will have higher specs, they'll just make better games for PC. Everybody will get better games. But there's no such thing as the magic console. What do they call it? It's been this whole argument this week. The console optimization, like the big magic word,
Yeah.
But games will still be great. And there's more to games than just the freaking pixels, dang it.
Yeah.
Yeah, dang it. By golly.
You?
You scallywag. All right, we're just gonna wrap this up. Next gen fell off a fucking bridge. Colt, where can we find you, man? What's your information?
Find me at Colt Eastwood. That's one word. I'm gonna hit 5,000 subs this week, guys, and that's pretty cool.
Congratulations, bro.
Be sure not subscribe. Ruin his dream.
Yeah, as soon as it gets to 4,999, bank out.
Dope shit.
Yeah. No, but thanks for everybody for supporting, and thanks to you guys for helping me out and teaching me some things. So,
you're gonna be helping me out this June when I'm learning Adobe Premiere. So don't worry.
Yeah, we're gonna get your videos. We're gonna get your videos up, top-notch quality.
Oh my
Stuff you're bringing. It'll be great.
What about you, D? What you been up to, bro?
Like I said today, I watched the big financial call from AMD. I have a live stream up on my channel there. You guys can find me at. I changed my name on Twitter now, so you can find me at D_Batch, and of course on YouTube, Batch.
Now you need to just change it on Xbox so we can stop getting questions about what your gamer tag is.
Yeah, you know what?
Just change it to stupid batch.
I'm gonna pony up, and I'm just gonna change it to Batch as well. Yeah.
And you can also change your gamer picture to your YouTube picture if you download the Xbox beta on Windows 10. You can change your picture to the YouTube one, because we've heard stories of a guy that thought he was talking to you for a good 6 months, and it turns out it wasn't even you.
What you gotta understand is I thought it was him.
He argued me down about this shit, didn't he?
Hey, remember I invited you to the party, and next Jim was like, bro, that's not D.
Yes, it is the pet guy.
Dude, he was talking to fake you, D, for like 6 months and didn't even know it wasn't you.
I said you sure.
I'm flattered that I even have a fake me. Holy shit.
Yeah. I don't know what the other shit is weird. He argued me down.
He wasn't intentionally impersonating you. His name was also D, so he just flat out just didn't bother asking. Hey, are you?
Where the fuck did he come from? Like, where the fuck did he come from? It's a help your A can make I'm D. Oh yeah, I need TV.
Wait, hold on. I think Z has the most dynamic 4K mic I've ever heard. Oh my gosh! 1 minute
it sounded like he was running towards us, right?
The next minute he's got his lips up to my ear.
Yo, no, my shit went the way in, man. That's what the fuck happened. Right now. Yeah, boy.
Sign us out, buddy.
Yeah, boy.
Guys, thanks for watching. It was a good time.
Thank you for rocking out with Xbox. Fire. Sound good? I'm good. Fuck all you guys. We out here. Bang.